So Tier 1 of RTI is just simply, this is your regular education students. This involves 80 to 85% of the student population. This is where the majority of the students are going to be. But that doesn't mean that these students are all advanced students. And even proficient students sometimes still need additional help, and we can provide that using RTI. But again, the first step is to make sure we have quality research-based instruction that's going on across the board. It's hard to identify a student as needing additional help if we're not giving them the instruction that they need on the level that they need it on. If they're not getting proper grade level instruction and quality grade level instruction, it's really hard to properly identify those students. Tier 2. These are students that fall below the 25th percentile of their grade level in reading or math. When we're talking about Tier 2, we're talking about 30 minutes of additional instruction time in a small group setting for students that need that extra push or that extra help to get them back to grade level. This is about 10 to 15% of all the students in the student population, and it does require progress monitoring to occur every 1 to 2 weeks to ensure that the intervention that's being applied is being effective. So it's ongoing progress monitoring throughout the process. Tier 3. Tier 3 can be students who's still not up to par, that were Tier 2, and we're still not seeing the progress that we need to see. So we're going to add an additional 15 to 30 minutes to allow them that 45 minutes or an hour of time of Tier 3 instruction. Small group settings still just like in Tier 2, but just a little more intensive and a little bit longer time with that particular student. These are also students, not only that were not successful in Tier 2, but it may be students that automatically start in Tier 3 because they scored below the 10th percentile on their assessments, or they're 1.5 to 2 grade levels below where they should be at. So obviously, with Sally being a 10th grader and her on a 4th and 5th grade math level, she's going to fall into Tier 3 interventions because she's more than that 1.5 to 2 grade levels below where she needs to be. So 45 to 60 minutes of intensive, explicit instruction. And again, this is about 3 to 5% of all of our students in our student population. So this is not a big number. Again, we're focusing on small groups. And again, it requires the progress monitoring every 1 to 2 weeks to ensure that this is an effective strategy for that particular child. RTI's biggest challenge is the implementation process, and not just setting aside time and saying, okay, we're doing RTI, but also that progress monitoring after the fact is very important to ensure that we have effective RTI program within our school setting. RTI kind of fills in the gaps for those students who do not qualify for special education service, and it can be used as a modification along with special education students. Again, in some states they call them Tier 4, and a lot of times here you'll refer to them as Tier 4 students. So RTI helps all students succeed, and not just some who have been qualified for special education services. So this is a way to help ensure that we're reaching all of our students and not just one group, not the high, not the low, but all students to succeed. This challenge to RTI is building that schedule and ensuring that you have enough staff to properly implement RTI.